Today's story is shocking, brutal, and a little heartbreaking, but also deeply revealing about the kind of world that we live in. Today, we are talking about Lakshmi Devi, a 57-year-old woman who her own 35-year-old son, Sham Prasad. The headlines screamed, Mother son chops body, dumps in canal. But beyond the horror, this story is about the frustration, silence, and impossible choices that mothers in patriarchal families are forced to navigate. Let us start with facts. According to Prakasam District Police, Sham Prasad had a history of disturbing behavior. He wasn't just wayward, he was accused of trying to his own aunts. This wasn't a one-off. Reports say his predatory behavior followed the family across cities like Hyderabad, Khanam and Bengaluru. Eventually Lakshmi Devi snapped. She along with her relatives him with a sharp object, most likely an axe, dismembered his body into 5 pieces, stuffed them into sacks and dumped them in a canal. The police have filed charges under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita and destruction of evidence, but as of now, Lakshmi Devi is absconding. We have to ask, what drives a mother to her own son? One part of the answer is obvious, frustration with a system that does nothing. Families often silence women. Police dismisses harassment. Society tells mothers to tolerate, adjust, pray. But here was a son who was not just a disappointment, he was a and Lakshmi Devi might have felt that there is no authority in the world that is going to help her and her family. This doesn't justify murder, but it helps us understand the unbearable pressure that she must have felt that made her see as the only option. This case is extraordinary. A mother harming her own son. Even cinema and literature have wrestled with the idea of a mother figure being faced with a monstrous son. Even in the popular series like Adolescence, they have focused more on how the father feels about his son being a criminal, and they don't discuss much about the mother. In cases like these, people just assume that the mothers are on the son's side and they are devastated and so sad for the son's position. That's it. No one for even a second considers that the mother is sad because she is disappointed that her son turned out like this. A mother is also a woman, and a woman will always be disappointed at a man turning out like this. In We Need to Talk About Kevin, Tilda Swinton plays a mother trapped in guilt, rage, and despair as her son commits atrocities. The film doesn't give her relief, only endless blame. Lakshmi Devi's case is something like we haven't even seen in fiction that much. We have all heard of boy moms, they are everywhere. Every day there's a new example of a boy mom being horrible to other women because they identify with their sons more. They are on some sort of a power trip just because they have sons. They justify their sons' bad behavior. I also have personally seen these boy moms in action and it is horrific. It would be funny if it was not dangerous. It's almost like they live in a trance. Sometimes it snaps, sometimes it doesn't. When it does, they might briefly remember that they are women, individuals with lives of their own. But when they are deep in it, they are caught in an illusion. Not women, not even fully themselves. Just boys to their mother. And being a boy mom is not just an Indian specific thing. I have heard people talk about boy moms from all over the world. Women favoring their sons over their daughters or anyone else is a very common occurrence. And in a world like that, we hear a case of Lakshmi Devi, which is different, and everyone wants to know what happened and everyone is interested. Whenever a man commits a violent crime, somehow the blame always comes to a woman. First, they start with the victim. They blame the victim for various reasons, but soon after that, they come to the mother. She must have spoiled him, she must have raised him wrong, and yes, mothers play an important role in shaping boys. And yes, many mothers in India are guilty of enabling misogyny, pampering son, excusing their bad behavior, placing burdens on daughters instead. But here's the catch, it's not only the mothers. A boy is raised not just by his mother but by his father, his peers, his teachers, his community, his films, his WhatsApp group, his entire social conditioning. When a son grows into a predator, blaming just the mother is lazy shortcut. What about the absent or father? What about a society that rewards boys for aggression and mocks them for sensitivity? What about the media that normalizes as romance? Mothers are expected to be miracle workers, to absorb the worst of patriarchy and still churn out the perfect sons. And when they fail, society hangs them for it. Lakshmi Devi's case shows us both extremes. A mother who likely tolerated her son's bad behavior for years and years and then finally chose to stop protecting him in the most dramatic way possible. And obviously, mothers like her are rare. Most women will never stop protecting their sons. This story is not about glorifying a gruesome act, it's about pausing to reflect. Lakshmi Devi son, yes. But before that, she lived with him. She tried to change him. She tolerated him and likely failed to control him. And finally, she broke. Her act forces us to confront a taboo question. What is the responsibility of mothers when their sons become monsters? And what is the responsibility of society to ensure mothers aren't left to deal with these predators on their own, in their own homes alone? We can condemn the monster, but also understand the despair that led to it. That's all for today. I would love to know what you think of this case. What do you think of Lakshmi Devi? This case is not closed yet and no one has gone to trial, but I'm very curious to see how this unfolds. Till then, we just have to wait. But this is all for now. Until next time, stay safe and keep questioning.